Chapter 37, The Angelica Touch by Lindsay J. Sedgwick. Mum drags me along to the public meeting for moral support. The hall is packed and there isn't even free food. Chris is trying to turn the heating off because it's hot as the inside of a spit-roasting pig. Everyone's talking at once, but Kitty's up front trying to keep track of ideas on a flip chart as people shout them out. The ark must have sounded similarly noisy when it ran aground. Big Brenda takes to the stage to correct Kitty's spelling, which can't end well. Okay, Mum whispers to me. Let's do this. Us? Who said anything about us? If we want the world to visit us, says Mum, striding towards the stage, we have to give them reasons to come that they cannot resist. The crowd parts like waves. Oh, give over with this biblical imagery. I'm 14, I should be using way more interesting metaphors. I find a seat near the back beside Grace. Yeah, she was dragged along too. Most of the teens in town are here. Something about civic duty and getting an education from life. Mum steps up on the stage. Let's give them something to really talk about. She has Kitty pass several pages around so everyone can write down any special skills or possible contexts they have that we might be able to use. If someone is being too modest, feel free to amend their entry, she adds. We have 6 weeks to pull together the biggest, best wee festival the island of Ireland has ever seen. This is no time to be hiding our lights behind bushels. Latching onto the religious imagery in this, Big Brenda wants to know if there's a saint we can attach. Festivals always have saints, she says. We can hardly use St. Valentine since everyone else does, so who will ours be? Father Lafarge tackles her bravely. Brenda, Brenda, this is about the community helping itself to grow, not imposing any particular faith. It's a festival of life. If he had been able to marry, she'd have been perfect for him. She's very fond of high horses, and he's very used to dealing with them. But I'm sure, says Reverend Clancy, we could find room for an ecumenical service on Sunday. Let's see if there's some class of a saint that matches the date, says Chris, nodding to me. Wi-Fi is lousy in the halls, so I slip outside to do the necessary. Every day in April has oodles of saints listed, martyrs and monks, hermits and nuns, but only one is Irish, Saint Lazarian. Too close to Caesarean, says Grace, and with your mum's recent experience of talking about childbirth, she's right. I slip back inside and pass a note up to Chris. He grins, then lands me in it. Angelica has an idea that might work, he says, and gestures for me to join him up on stage. Couldn't you just... No. Angelica, this is your turn, he says. So there I am in the spotlight. I am not a fan of the spotlight. It activates acne for a start, not to mention the difficulty in getting words out. But there's nothing for it. St. Bridget. It's the name of one of our churches, right? But she was a pagan priestess first, which would make the festival stand out. There's a general murmur of approval and hedged approval. Brenda likes the Christian element. Mum, Kitty and the other matriarchs appreciate having a feisty female icon, while Guppy is already taking off how she can make use of the pagan aspect. There's a rumour, she says, that St. Bridget performed one of her miracles in Donegal, which may as well have been Drashog, and it could easily have been April. What? I mouth at her, but she's avoiding my eyes. Everyone bickers and sort of agrees. Mum gets really bossy, but nobody seems to mind. For the next hour, she sorts people into groups with various interests at heart. By 8:30, a central committee has been formed, and responsibilities have been handed out to nearly everyone there to clean up various sections of the town. Then they all settle down to work out what events should happen and how and when. I slip away back to my maths. It's so much simpler than people. I can only take so much of grown-ups in their strange little world. Dylan follows me out. I'll walk you home, he says. I shrug. It's a can if you want, but I can't say I want you to yet. Shrug. Then I walk slow, so he knows I wish I could. That was her third date in Compton's, he says. She hasn't had a full one yet. She's still dating, says Dylan, technically. Technically, they've all got horribly wrong, I say, and now she's fed up with men, even with the idea of falling for someone. It's so dark. Several street lights need replacing. They flicker on and off and emit a ghostly orange hue. We're passing the gang outside Simon's Cafe when Theo calls out, Hey, Dill, she put out yet? Dylan doesn't respond, doesn't stop. It's meant to be a joke, a big joke, and I'm at the butt end of it, and it's not even funny. What did you tell them? Nothing, he says, pulling his sleeves down over his hands, and it isn't even cold. He keeps walking. Ask me nicely, shouts another boy whose voice I don't recognise. I'll visit her, Mum. Speed things up for you. They asked if we were going out, that's all. And you told them I had to get Mum fixed up first. No, honestly, I didn't put it like that. His voice trails off. I just said we weren't, not yet. I stop then, right in front of him, and turn so I can see his face. The tears are there, burning inside my eyes, and I hold them back with rage. Try not ever. As I stride off, I can hear the whistles and jeers, but I don't look back. I will never look back again. To be continued.